Breaking news. As of November 10, 2025, as the BBC faces global backlash for editing Trump's speech, this video explores the hypocrisy, the silence, and the growing call for international accountability. BBC resignation over Trump editing scandal, November 9, 2025, and the BBC scandal only deepens public distrust in mainstream narratives. Tim Davie, Director General of the BBC, and Deborah Turnus, CEO of BBC News, both resigned after backlash over a Panorama documentary that selectively edited Trump's January 6 speech. The documentary spliced together two separate parts of Trump's speech to falsely imply he incited violence directly. In reality, he said, the BBC admitted mistakes and accepted responsibility, but critics, including Trump, called it election interference and institutional bias. Watch and share. The truth is no longer negotiable. Subscribe for diaspora resistance, justice advocacy, and political analysis.
Bye-bye, BBC. I mean, this really should be the story that totals Auntie, isn't it? And it's not going to, but what they did with Panorama, where they took an hour-long speech by President Trump and then spliced it,
really
an hour-long segment, spliced it together to make it sound like he's inciting insurrection with like the mood music and the doom filter over the top. This is not about clipping actuality, topping and tailing to tell a narrative. This is basically being Dr. Frankenstein to turn a man into a monster. It's just outright lying.
Well, it's the biggest story in town. It turns out American President Donald Trump was onto something.
Where are you from?
BBC.
Okay. Here's another beauty.
It's a good line. Impartial, free and fair.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that criticism of the BBC and John Sopel, who was talking to there, apparently was well-founded, because the so-called impartial and accurate public service broadcaster is nothing but.
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President...
Because tonight the BBC is facing serious questions over its credibility after the Daily Telegraph exposed a Panorama segment that heavily doctored a speech by the American president in 2021, hours before the infamous January the 6th Capitol riot. As you're about to hear, the corporation spliced together two quotes 1 hour apart to make it seem like he encouraged an insurrection.
They played the following clip.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell.
But Trump didn't, in fact, say this at all. The BBC spliced together two clips that took place 54 minutes apart. So let's go through it again.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
Now, see there, between Capitol and, that's a cut. Here's what Trump actually said.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
It's different. It wasn't until nearly an hour later that he then said the second part of the BBC's version.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we fight. We fight like hell.
That is damning stuff. Now, this, of course, is coming from the holier-than-thou BBC that even has its own so-called fact-checking service named BBC Verify that they claim counters disinformation. Oh, the irony.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
Thank you for tuning in to First News Broadcast as we witnessed history in the making with the inauguration of Donald J. Trump as President of the United States. Stay with us for continued coverage and expert analysis of this pivotal chapter in American history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for the latest news and updates. Until next time, stay informed and take care.